Well, at first I want to credit App. I thought they came out and played really, really well. They were down a starter, and they gave us so much trouble for us defensively to guard them. I thought they did a great job, and I said that prior to us playing. I have a lot of respect for Angel and their players, and they did a great job, and they're going to have a great season. I'm happy and proud of our kids. I haven't said this a lot publicly, but our preseason was really difficult, really rough. We had 5 players out with injuries. We had multiple players out with COVID, flu, stomach virus, upper respiratory. We practiced with 4 and 5 people over a 2-week span. And so we weren't ready to play. Now, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that to these guys, but I think we all felt it and we looked it. We weren't ready to play. And it took us, 3 quarters until we really started to be able to be ready to play. And, that's a credit to our players. I literally looked them at the timeout between the third and fourth quarter. I told them one thing. I said, y'all got to decide how you want to end this game. So that has nothing to do with us as coaches. We finally flipped the switch and decided to play Charlotte basketball. And that is, number one, to play with heart. We outworked them. We outplayed them. And, luckily we were able to do that just in enough time to get that game into overtime.
Is part of that the reason for the slow start in the first half with some early foul trouble, some missed shots here and there?
Definitely. We were totally out of sync. Pointing out the defense, but offensively we weren't great either. We hadn't been in any much competitive situation. Even when we were practicing, it was small groups, 4 or 5 people. You can't scrimmage. You can't work on transition defense. You only have 5 people going, so you can't put the team in difficult situations to test their adversity because there's 5 of them. So, I think all of those things certainly contributed. And you don't want to make it an excuse, but it clearly made a difference for us. But ultimately, we found who we are. At Charlotte, we pride ourselves on playing with heart, outworking, out-hustling, and we found that. And once we found that, we were the better team.
Was there a key moment, the third quarter, fourth quarter, that you considered the spark we needed to really get things turned around?
I just thought at the beginning of that fourth quarter when we were finally able to get multiple stops in a row, it wasn't about the offense, but we were able to get multiple stops, which led to transition. We talked about that at halftime. Part of the, not being able to get stops is twofold. One, you're letting them score, but 2, then we don't get any transition, which is what we're really good at. So I think once we were able to put together back-to-back stops, we get quick stuff in transition, quick stuff in transition, quick stuff. We were able to close that deficit.
Talk about these 2 ladies next to you. Michaela had 30, Deja had 29, both career highs. Phenomenal nights.
Yeah, I'm just really happy for both of them. They put in great work over the course of the season. I've talked about Michaela a lot. She had a great season last year, but she was still coming off not playing. And then she finally got time to put the work in this summer, and she got better and better and better. And you could see when she turns it up a notch, she's really difficult to guard. Deja, same thing. Now, this summer she had a setback with an injury, but she didn't let it affect, her mentally. As soon as she was ready to go, as soon as she was cleared, we got her back into it, and she has not skipped a beat. I've said this, Michaela and Jada, they are preseason all-conference because they should be, but Deja's the one that's going to sneak up on people. Deja is as good as any guard in this league.
Deja, you seem to pick up right where you left off last season, getting hot towards the end of the year. 12 points in the first quarter, knocking down some key shots to keep us in it. What felt good for you early on?
Everything. Finding my shots, my teammates trusted me. When I see the ball go in the hoop, I feel comfortable right then. So I just think everything felt comfortable. Of course, defense wasn't there at first, but once I found my offensive rhythm, I felt good.
29 points, career high, 47 minutes played, double overtime. Was there a key moment where you realized, you know what, we've got this comeback going, we're going to make this happen?
The fourth quarter. I had the same feeling when in La Tech, when we were down at halftime. I had that same feeling. I knew fourth quarter we was going to make a run for it. When we start chipping it away, I knew we was going to come back, and I knew this game was ours.
Michaela, 30 points for you. Kind of a slow start in the first half, and then you hit clutch free throw after clutch free throw late. When did you start to feel good there in the second half, get things going?
I think that it came in the fourth quarter. The team was doing a good job motivating me. I know my shot wasn't falling the first 3 quarters, but they did a good job lifting me up. And I think that them scoring baskets motivated me to want to, be involved too. So just feeding off of them. I think my teammates brought the best energy and it helped me bring my energy up.
It was a good night all the way around that second half, overtime. Jada finished with 14, Kiana 13. Coach, talk about, contributors off the bench and everyone staying locked in for 50 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's important to shout out Jada. I was in her ear a lot about just getting to be more aggressive. We need her to be more aggressive and, be able to get into the paint. And I thought the game started to turn when she started to do that. And once she, became aggressive, these guys just kind of fed off of her. I also think JC's minutes on the defensive end was outstanding. We started to switch in that fourth quarter, just try to keep everybody in front of her. In front of us, I thought her length really bothered them finishing at the rim, and so she contributed greatly. And certainly, Kiana, she is one that was out with an injury for at least 2 weeks in October. And for somebody who's new in the program, that's a really critical time. And for her to bounce back, after being out for so long, to come in and play this many minutes, we had to go small. As much as we had an advantage, we felt with Maya, we needed to go small to be able to get back in this game and just get more possessions. And she was ready. That's a credit to her. And I can't leave out Leash. Obviously, Jada fouling out was a disappointment because, she's our heart. We follow her. But putting in Leash, a sophomore, hasn't had a lot of minutes, has never been in a tight end-of-game situation in her time at Charlotte. And for her to come in and just play steady, she just really played steady. She didn't make mistakes in the game plan. That was huge. I'm really happy for her.
Deja and Michaela, both for you here. First half, team shot around 32%. Second half, 60%, almost literally doubling it from the first half to second half. What was it? Everybody just relax, first couple of shots go, everybody gets back to playing ball.
I think we were more intentional about the shots we took the second half. Halftime, we knew that we needed to make better shots and find sevens. So I think we were just more intentional of the shots we took in the second half.
Yeah, for sure. And going off of Deja, I think that the biggest thing that we did was calm down. I think we was a little rattled in the first, second. Once we got to the third and fourth, I think that's when we started picking things up and playing the basketball that we know how to play.
It's our largest comeback, as we mentioned, one of the largest in NCAA history. What's that mean to each of you as we start the season?
We're built for this. I just think we're really good at adversity. So I just think we're known for coming back with large leads like that. We're known for coming back, having heart, and just keep pushing.
Yeah, we pride ourselves off of heart, and I think that's what we did in the fourth quarter mainly because we came back in the fourth quarter. I think that we really prided ourselves on that, and it was like we were looking at each other and we were telling each other that we need to go one stop at a time, a stop, score, and that was our mentality. And it's the fact that we all stayed together even when things that wasn't going our way. We kind of looked at each other and was like, listen, this is our game, we got it, and kept pushing forward. So credit to us for doing that on the court as well.
I don't have anything to add. They're exactly right.
Anyone have flashbacks to Rice and think 4 overtime? 2 is enough.
Two was
Two is enough. Two is too much.
Too much.
For real.
It's just a season opener, plenty more to go. Friday, Coppin State, we get to do it all over again.
Yeah, we just need to build on this. Number one, we need to play better in the first half. We need to get our bench going. Obviously, we had a lot of folks play a ton of minutes. And again, that's just because some of the folks on our bench, they aren't ready because of the things I already talked about here. So we've got to continue to get people back healthy. We have to continue to grow so we can be deeper. But hopefully we learn from this, more than anything. It's great to win this game, but we need to learn from this and certainly start better than we did tonight.
That's it.
All right, thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.